There we go. Hello.
Hello, my dear friend. We're
Hello,
still apart.
darling.
We're still apart, but always together. Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I really feel I've definitely felt the distinction of commitment in our Fridays because it's like the summer has just been working its magic with us, causing us to, I think it's been like at least a month since we've seen each other because either you're
Crazy.
away or I'm away, but we're showing up, we're filling the space, and then here we are. And I just feel the thread of commitment woven through that we're both so committed to being here. So thank you for
Yes,
that.
thank you.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah, it's a
I
real
love you
pleasure.
so much.
I
Yeah.
love you too. Yeah, we'll be in fall season before we know it, and lots of time to be together then.
Yes.
But yeah, fun adventures, right? Into the wild west of
Yes.
Vancouver Island. What would
Hmm.
you say? What would you say is the most, you know, kind of prominent teaching you've been picking up from your travels?
Most prominent
Anything
teaching
that,
from the summer.
yeah, teaching or like download or, you
Mhm.
know, mm,
Wow.
I
Oh,
know, is
that's
there
a
just one?
give me a minute just to
Yeah.
just to be with that for a sec. Well, honestly, it has been just following my own wild nature,
Mm,
like just allowing myself to be wild because that's totally what we do. We just go, we have everything we need with us, and then we just allow ourselves to be drawn. And one thing that I did last week that was different and new was that so my husband and I, we like to travel and we have a camper and we go off-roading and we go out to the wild places and we love just like bringing our wild selves to the wild and allowing that part of ourselves to be activated, like to have space to fully show up instead of all these ways we're supposed to be proper and civilized and like the freedom of being a being among the trees and the plants and the creatures. It feels so good to, putting, it's like the satisfaction of putting the last piece into the jigsaw puzzle. It's like, oh,
yes.
this is where I belong. I am the same as all these creatures instead of all these constructs I've built to
Mm,
fit into this constructed world. And so we always travel by land and then we get to the water. We're always drawn to the water, the lakes, the rivers, the ocean. And we get to the water, and then it's like, then we stop because we don't have, apart from swimming, we don't have watercraft. So last week
mm.
we took a sailing lesson.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Where? I,
In Maple
oh,
Bay.
where are you?
In
Okay.
Maple Bay. So we moved our bodies from the earth element onto the water. So that felt like a really profound movement. So
Yes.
that's one of the things. Yeah, and just
Mm,
I also now totally believe in and embodying that we carry light codes that are called to different sacred places on the earth, and that life is calling us. We are not just deciding with our brains to go somewhere. We're actually being called for a reason, and that we have a crystalline nature that we bring. We bring these incredible gifts with who we
mm.
are, and that nature calls us to be in these like dates with destiny. So, bringing that conscious awareness when we travel is quite a gift because we start to see the sacred in everything, and we also see our own sacredness interfacing with that. As I see you sitting at the base of this beautiful tree.
Yes, exactly. And
So,
yeah, Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, I want to hear your answer to that question.
Well, yes, just reverence for what you said. I've been finding myself using much less words lately, just very much in that space of uh, I always choke up this word reciprocity. There we go.
You
Um,
got it. Perfect.
yeah, with in a
Um,
nonverbal way, with nature and the people that I am around. Um, so I'll come try to get my mouth to work clearly. I do have a lot of like reverence for what you're saying. And then also, just like you also mentioned before we turned the camera on, or the recording was just that like seeing, so therefore being called into those moments, but then allowing us to see like beyond, um, or yeah, beyond, or, to merge with the environment and allow ourselves to see more than what's just on the surface, and to allow the messaging or the symbols or the signs or the faces of the elements mentals, or that. So for me, I think it's been, yeah, like you said, following the calling, but then easing, like relaxing into it enough in order to merge with it and to really then be able to receive more and give more, I think. If and more, not from like a sense of it was less before, but just you know just yeah,
like a
like
deepening.
just being able to give and receive a little deeper, yeah, because where I am
Mm.
right now on the what the where am I, Sarah?
You're on
I'm
the
on the
Wild West Coast. You're on the Pacific Ocean, and
yeah.
there is nothing but water between you and Japan.
And I have a friend visiting from New Zealand, and so obviously New Zealand is on the Pacific Ocean as well, but just,
Wow.
so like her and I communing with the ocean is quite interesting because then there's that north-south perspective a little bit too. And so, yeah, just
Yeah,
really like being able to merge and open up to receive deeper. Um, and be in relationship with nature in that way. It's just been so fun because like what's there you won't always see if you're not in that open space. You'll be just
absolutely.
like beautiful trees, beautiful ocean, but like opening up and seeing the magic. It's been very, very magical. Yes, it's been very magical to realize, yeah, that I am at one with such
Hmm.
powerful places like this. And
Yes.
and when we're traveling, even if you just kind of go where you're called, there's a little bit of planning and like present moment. Okay, I'm here now, where am I going to go next? Okay, check out the
Mhm.
maps or check out like
Oh, yeah.
what's nearby. And it's always so funny because you can get a little lost and you're driving and you're like, oh no, I missed the corner, or oh, that's I slowed down in the intersection to look at the street sign, and the driver behind me is like, what's she doing? But all of that, like, in contrast to being in our everyday routine where all of that is just automatically known, right? And we don't actually have to, put time into like, oh, okay, well, where do I go buy my groceries? I don't know, like just stepping
Right.
out, yeah, stepping out and looking at like, that free flow style or that like routine style of life, and seeing,
Mm.
just seeing the ease and the challenges in both, and just really realizing one right. Anyway, I think that was those things were really like stood out to me, where at home when we're back into routine in school or work and everything, and we could be like, oh, I missed the this or that, but um yeah, just really realizing it's about how we choose to show up and how we choose to feel. And bringing that magic in ourselves. Maybe go a different route to work. Maybe, and be open to see that you haven't seen before, like to stay in tune, so not to feel like, oh, life is only good when we're on vacation kind of thing, you know?
Right. We can bring it into the present. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
I
And
was
just really,
when
yeah.
when Nige and I were at that lake and we were having this what we were experiencing was a super deep presence. What we were bringing was full presence. And like it was like having a psychedelic experience. It was like, wow, that just produced DMT, right? Just by being so deeply present, like dropping so deeply into the now. You know how some people call it the
Yes.
infinite now moment? It became the infinite
Mhm.
wow moment, right? It's just like, wow, like the world is
Oh,
amazing.
oh,
And I remember years
yeah.
ago just getting the message that what you're saying is that mindfulness makes the magical world visible. Mindfulness being allowing ourselves
Mm.
to fully inhabit the present moment, not be multitasking and being in a million different places at once, but actually allowing ourselves to be fully embodied. That's when we actually get to see the magic all around us. And it's not that it's hidden, it's that it's always there. It's the quality of presence that reveals it, right? So that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's just been, and then, quite wild astrology the last couple of
Oh, yeah.
weeks, with retrogrades and eclipse seasons and things like that. So there's been all of this like awareness and presence, but then, and at the same time, I'm witnessing like a lot of my old programming, let's say, or conditioning or belief systems being really present at the same time. So I'm kind of watching like the past and the present and redesigning my future at the same time. So I mean it's been
Ooh,
kind
oh
of
my
like
God.
awkward as well, right? Like like crazy, Mercury retrograde, things not working, technology, whatever, paths
Oh,
being
yeah.
missed, and like I had a fall the other, like just slipped on something, like that kind of chaos, right? So
Uh-huh.
it's just really interesting to be saying, okay, I'm noticing a real difference from where I've been to where I am now, and excited
Mm,
about what I get to create next. But it's awkward. It's like awkward. That's the only way I can put it. And
right.
uncomfortable, but I guess I'm saying that's okay because that's what I'm hearing so much coming from the astrology right now. Like the times are definitely amped in this process of really um seeing and feeling deeply, and I think moving forward from there in a new way. I don't does that has that shown up for you at all?
Mm-hmm. I haven't been as big in the noticing of what's been happening with the astrology. I sort of
Mm,
heard a bit about it at the beginning and then, of course,
mm,
just sort of hurl myself into it.
yes. Me too. I'm not.
However, what I have been present to, acutely present to, is something I'm very aware of are the elements and the way astrology interfaces with the earth plane in terms of the four elements here. So
Mm,
what I'm really present to right now is the feeling of Sun in Virgo, moving into Virgo. Oh, my husband's just walking through. He was supposed to be gone to work. Sorry. I said,
yeah.
who's in my yard?
Yeah.
um, it's, we just passed the new moon in Virgo, so we've dropped into Virgo season, which is the earth element. And we start the summer in Cancer, the water element, from the end of June to the end of July. And then we go into fire element Leo from the end of July to the end of August. So I feel those really strongly. I feel very ungrounded in the summer, but not in a bad way, in a beautiful way. Like, oh, I'm flowing like the water. I absolutely love the summer vibe. I can't do any of the things the schedule goes out the window. It's just, and then the fire, the heat, the
Uh,
dancing, it's like, then I'm totally in the fire element all through August. And then when Virgo arrives at around August 21st and the anchoring earth energy comes, that for here, it's like a back to school thing, but
mm,
it's very, even though I absolutely love that summer flow, finally having a taste of earth is just like, oh, some ground under my feet. Okay, yes, relaxing back into that holding of schedule and pacing life, and I can get some things done now where I can't get
yes.
anything done in the summer. And it
Other,
coincides so beautifully with for me, harvest time. So I spent all yesterday in my kitchen dealing with all this beautiful produce. There's
yes.
like, and creating things, but just feeling way more grounded. Like, okay, I've got roots down. I'm not way up in the canopy blowing around anymore. There's a bit of balance arriving.
Yeah, absolutely. Up in the canopy, blowing around. And that's
Yeah.
what I mean, like how things can kind of show when things are blowing around, right? It's like, oh yeah, I remember this feeling or this, pattern in my life. Like, yeah, that's a good way to put it. I guess I've just been seeing everything kind of blowing around and realizing, yeah, it's gonna anchor in and it feels quite exciting.
Mm.
Uh yeah, yeah, and it does coincide beautifully. I'm not a big astrologer, but I do think it's important as women for us to know sort of, you know, like you were saying, just to know to merge a little bit more with what's happening in the moment, right? And in an astrology perspective or human design
Mhm.
or, all the teachings to understand like the Mayan calendar, but then also just in real time, in real life, being with the elements. I think as women we're drawn to understanding in some ways the container so that then the flow that comes through it makes so much more sense. Anyway,
Yes. The
sounds
cycles of
very,
the moon.
yes. Yeah,
Hmm.
and we are having eclipses coming up, which is always so fantastical, to think of what's going on in the cosmos and how that might influence. And I think, yeah, it's important to, or helpful, not important, like you're bad if you don't do it, but it's just helpful to have perspective, right? Because then we can receive and give more with that awareness. So anyway, I've been touching into astrology a little bit more than normal lately. I can't even
Cool.
imagine it as like trying to memorize that stuff and like learn it. I don't know. I'll just go to
Yeah.
I'll go to the teachers for that. Say, yes, I hear you.
I'm like that too. It's
Yeah.
funny. Certain parts of it I have a deep understanding, an understanding of, and then
Yes.
there's other parts that are just like the degrees and the aspects. I just like, that's just always over my head. Even though there's a part of me that could get it,
Yeah.
I really focused into it. It's just I just allow that there's parts of my brain that just don't want to grasp it. So that's okay. It can stay fluid and I can go to the people who know.
Yes.
And thankfully there are some who are just absolutely extraordinary who keep turning us toward these truths. One thing I saw the other day that was interesting, these days astrology I just kind of get in little sound bites here and there, was that I saw that we are having two new moons in Virgo
Yeah.
this month. So that's really interesting when the new moon falls twice in the same sign, because
Mm,
one thing that I've learned is that when the new moon arrives and you're in the sun sign, the new moon is in that sign. And then 2 weeks later ish, the full moon happens in the sign that is the opposite of
yeah,
whatever sun sign you're in, right?
Pisces
So,
full moon.
oh, Pisces full moon. Okay,
No
it's
wonder I'm
coming right
feeling
up.
everything.
Coming right up.
No wonder I'm feeling the depths and the eyes can't go
Very
on.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, just what that means to have two new moons in Virgo. And I'm wondering if that means the new moon in Libra isn't happening.
Mm,
So I'm
yeah.
not sure.
Something to check in about. But like you
Yeah.
said, just living it and being in the summer where that fire and the light, and the sun, it's just bringing so much. I have experienced so much light in lighting up myself and some of those things you want to change and let go of, right? Or things that
Mm,
I hate to say shadows, light and shadows. I don't know why. I guess it just gets so overused, that language, but it's true. Like when we're in the heat and the summer, like there is this a lot, and like you said, your garden is growing, like there's a lot of
mhm.
like things from seed to fruit and flower.
Right.
And then it gives us some awareness of, oh, we're going back into the darker time of the year, and bringing those new awarenesses, and coming in again into this cycle of like, okay, I'm going back into hibernation, going back into the dark time, with that new awareness, and to discover even more that eventually comes to light again in the next cycle of summer, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's so profound to kind of know that that's just natural too, so that if you are experiencing some of that awkwardness or discomfort, I think I did my live about it last week, just to be okay with that, because it is so aligned with you know the cycles that we live in, and it can give us yeah, like I feel like it's going to settle in really nicely, and bringing this light forward into the darker time of this year. There's going to be
Mm-hmm.
so much grounding that's coming, and um yeah, it feels really nice, whereas like you might be like, oh no, we're going into winter. I kind of feel at this moment like that completion of the cycle, and the gratitude for
Mm,
that, and being aligned with it. So we
yeah.
can have tough times, or we can have awkward times or struggle times, but that, what if that's actually a part of nature, and we are supposed to, I mean, it's not a what if, it is, isn't it? It's very much real. And when we show up with that openness and that awareness, then we really can receive so
Yeah.
much, that makes me just feel like, wow, in all of my ways of this life, it's meant to be. And it gives it so much meaning and so much beauty.
Mm,
And, you know,
that's beautiful.
yeah, like I just really feel, um, that gratitude to just, like you said, be a part of all of this going on, all this
Yeah.
misty goodness around me.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so beautiful.
I wanted to go to the beach to give you like the waves, but of course the internet wouldn't work. So sending
Oh,
you
yeah.
that, sending you the feeling of this air. Yeah.
I
Very,
feel
very
it.
nice. Yeah.
I love it. The wild West Coast, it feels so good out there. The
Yeah.
place where the air and the water and the land all meet. Yeah,
And like you
so
said, it's so expansive. Like you look out into the horizon, and, you know, it was interesting. We were sitting on the beach. We got here on Thursday, and like I said, it was sunny, and we were sitting on the beach, and to the left, like it was like stormy, cloudy, dark, like the ocean was crashing on the black rocks. It looked like, a
Ooh.
Viking ship. The Viking ship was just going to come out of the mist, right? And then to the right, it was sunny, and the sun dancers on the ocean were, the light dancers on the ocean, and it was like calm and the sky was clear. I was like, holy cow, look at this. Like,
Whoa.
again, a perfect example of how, yeah, like we can mirror with nature and we can really see so much of ourselves and have so much understanding. It was like literally like the two polarities right in front of us, and facing like the great unknown, like this huge great ocean, it
Mm.
oh, it was really like I had to have a chuckle because it was kind of like what I was just saying, like feeling all the different aspects of self lit up in one moment can feel really awkward and confusing, but it's natural to have those polarities. And there it was, defined in front of me in the most beautiful, natural way. Anyway, I just
Amazing.
I was like gobsmacked. It's so, and
That
then
is
of course
so
it
cool.
changes so quickly, right? Out here. Yeah.
Yes. That
Oh,
reminds me too of just the what you're describing is just the breath, the inhale and the exhale, expansion and contraction. That's how natural it is, right? And they
yeah.
we need them both. And our world isn't just about expand, expand, expand and light, light, light. It's about contract, compress,
Mm,
dark space, light
mm,
space. Like it's in our bodies being expressed constantly. So,
yeah.
of
We can
course,
find
it's
some
in our
peace in
world.
that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that greater movement through the seasons is we've just been in such an in breath. Like we're in the
Yes.
in breath and oh, we're feeling the exhale coming out. And then there's also just a kind of a deliciousness in that too, because the expansion, one of my favorite astrologers, Martin, he
Mm,
says, you know, he has this beautiful word for it where because I was talking about how, I can be so up there in the clouds and all blissed out, like way out in outer space. And he used the word sublimation,
mm,
which because he does Jungian astrology
mm.
and he studied the works of Carl Jung, I was saying like I can be way out there and then I just come crashing to earth, and then I'm way out there and I'm happy and then crash back down to earth. And so he was just kind of saying like sublimation, when you look at it that way, it can be an escapism.
Mm,
Like I can even say that in relative to my own life. It's just like,
mm,
oh, I can't follow a schedule. I can't get anything done. There's an aspect of escapism to that, of
mm.
just like, oh, I just can't do that. I can't deal
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that right. And so may our return to earth be a gentle landing, as
Mm,
graceful as
mm.
a heron or an eagle coming in with that precision. They don't come smashing down.
I suddenly saw your wings there, Sarah. So there you go. You got that. You got that covered.
Well, now that I know, see, the more things we
Yeah.
bring to conscious awareness in these conversations, we're using words to describe an experience that makes it a little bit more accessible for ourselves, right? Like, and I'm feeling the gentle landing.
Yes.
It's like, okay, I can do this with a little more grace, and I can explore these outer limits of my consciousness and of the world and the warmth and just enjoying being outside so much in a way that is not escapist, but rather a calling, and not a running from, but a running
Mm,
to.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then taking the time to, just pick up those little messages, signs, symbols, nuances, you know, to prepare for the landing and to prepare for it in a graceful way, and not a crash landing kind of way.
Yeah.
um which I experienced a little bit this week for sure, like these little
Hmm.
crashes where I'm like, okay, 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 let's put some attention there, let's put some awareness there, and bring some magic in and sit with it, and to then be able to create that soft landing. I mean, there's always multi cycles going on all the time, like even,
Hmm.
thinking of menopause and all of that for me, it's so aligned
Hmm.
with it's so aligned with the greater cycles. So
Mm.
I'm just able to kind of, you know, and not always perfectly or gracefully or anything like that, but just able to kind of witness it and say, okay, yeah, got it, put it, kind
Mm.
of put it all into, going forward with that grace and not having those crash landings into fall and winter. So
Mhm.
what were you processing in your kitchen yesterday? Cherries, plums, apples?
Oh, I have, well, one thing I can share. I'll tell you what happened in my kitchen. First thing that happened was juicing cucumbers. And
Oh.
because I have so many cucumbers, like holy, like I could not eat that many cucumbers ever in my life. So, so juicing them has become the thing. And I tell you, like having cucumber juice is so light and
Good.
like I was feeling, I drank this and I felt the light, the photons in my body of all
Mm.
the light that this plant has been gathering. And it was like it was scrubbing the top of my skull on the inside. Like it's just like, oh, cucumber
Oh,
juice, my new
I'm so thirsty
favorite
right now. All of a
thing.
sudden.
So
Yeah.
good. And then I made, what happened next? Then I made some these wonderful sugar-free cookies that I make with banana and oats and peanut butter and a whole bunch of like, yummy trail mixy type of things thrown in. So I made some of that. Oh, I made a huge, oh, it was so beautiful. I took out a big roasting pan and I put in the tomatoes are starting and they
Mm,
are so beautiful. Like I've got yellows and oranges and rose
mm,
pinks and gold and yellow and red and oh, so tomatoes, zucchini, green beans, onions, everything but the onions comes from my yard. And
mm.
then I roasted it in the oven for a couple of hours and then I put it through the blender and it's absolutely delicious. And I threw in a jalapeno and a couple little peppers, so it's kind of on the spicier side. So it's the beginning of tomato sauce season.
I see.
Because
Yes, I
as
see.
that stuff comes in, it's like a roasting pan every day. And
Yes, yes.
so all that created 4 little jars of tomato sauce.
Oh, good.
That's so good.
I'm coming to
And
your
herbs
house
from the
next
garden
week.
too. You should. Yeah.
Our
And then
meeting will be there next week.
sure, we'll meet in the kitchen. We'll like
Okay.
start doing a little bit of brewing. And then I finally it's like every year canning is kind of it's almost like a big perceived obstacle that I need to get past. And just
Yeah.
once I do it once, I'm like, right, this is easy. I can do this. But it
Yes.
always seems like a really big deal. So I hurdled that yesterday and I made pickled green beans because I have a lot of beans. And then I also picked some plums off my tree. I have some plums ready and I made a really good plum crumble.
Yeah, girl.
Amazing. So
Yes,
I have
woman.
plums for the first
Yeah.
time tree that I planted. So it's super exciting seeing these things literally coming
Mm,
to fruition.
yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Literal fruition. When fruit becomes, an event.
I love that for you. I love that for you.
Yeah.
That's so
Thank
witchy
you.
of you. I'm a really
Oh,
good kitchen helper witch.
oh,
Kitchen
good.
witch helper. helper.
Oh, yeah.
I'm great at helping. And like you said, the canning and the preserving can just feel monumental. So,
Yeah.
call in your support team and
Okay.
meaning me, and let me
All
help you.
right. I'll have some ready for us to make on Friday.
Wow. Good for you. That's
Anchoring
super
into the
productive
earth,
day.
right?
Yeah.
Well, it's all been waiting and calling my name. And today is going to be pickling jalapenos because I have a really nice jalapeno harvest this year.
Oh,
And then,
wow.
so I like to do baking with all my zucchini. So I've been
Yeah.
making muffins and freezing them. So that's really nice having muffins in the freezer. So far, I have made double chocolate zucchini muffins, chocolate walnut, banana chocolate chip zucchini muffins, lemon blueberry zucchini muffins, and lemon raspberry zucchini muffins. So I'm a
Holy,
zucchini baking queen.
your house is glowing all the way from here. I can see it. I can see the energy signature
Well, I
glowing.
tell you, it's like the most like being able to grow food is I never knew that I wanted to do this. It hasn't been a lifelong thing. I've been interested for a long time, but the first of all, being in the garden and feeling all that life force reflected back
Mm,
to me is a really potent experience. Like
I
being there
love
with all
that.
these little babies that I've nurtured that are so they're big and pumping. It's like your own children, right? It's like they except it happens in one season, like a couple months. They go from babies to grown-ups. And yeah, and then being able to bring it in and it's just so full of nourishment. And I really believe it grows exactly what we need to be well, So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
our kitchen garden is like it's attuned to our family, right? And it's just the most beautiful organic produce. And then I go to the grocery store and I walk through the produce section and I don't have to buy anything for a while
Yes.
because I have it
Right.
all. And
Yes.
those are amazing feelings. So that's what my talk was about this week. I actually did a garden tour
Oh,
and I was
good.
talking about true abundance because Mother Nature is this extreme example of what real abundance is. It's like there's an aspect of ourselves that knows that it's actually just kind of easy, that we can just relax into Mother Earth's embrace and that she's holding us and that she always produces so much more than we need. Like it's this real
Blessed
abundance.
be. Yeah, well, let's do some ceremony over, I'm also a really good helper putting
Oh,
garden beds to rest and
oh,
composting, because that part will
cool.
come too, right? So let's make some
Oh, yeah.
ceremony around that and really just keep blessing
Oh,
the abundance that you have there. I really
I
love
love
that.
that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I should sign off, my dear friend, but I'm
Yes.
sending you so much love. We got to travel back today, so I'm
Oh,
making
really?
yeah, we're going to travel back today and then maybe land at Grant Lake where Adrian built our friends uh, this beautiful summer house lake cabin on Grant
Really?
Lake. Do you know where that is? You have to,
No.
it's kind of like past Shawnigan Lake and you go out into the woods past you go past Shawnigan Lake School and out that side of the lake and you go into the woods
Yeah.
and it's a private lake called Grant Lake. So
Wow.
yeah, so we're
Cool.
transitioning travel today and hopefully gonna land swimming in the lake this evening. So I'm feeling
Cool.
feeling the
Oh,
call to travel and make all of
yeah.
those things happen for the day. So, but I'm so grateful we
Beautiful.
got to jump in and thanks for pre-recording and
Mm,
I'll be
thank
sending
you.
everybody, yeah, sending
Thanks. And
lots
I
of
wish
love.
you happy landings, gentle, graceful
Please.
landing.
There's been lots of hummingbird energy around this last week and my
Oh,
friend Lisa from New Zealand has been really feeling it and so I'm telling her a lot about you too, Miss Hummingbird Magic, you
oh, yeah.
yourself. Yeah. So anyway, love you, girl. Love you, woman.
I love
See you
you
soon.
too.
Bye
Have
for
a really
now.
wonderful trip. Safe travels.
Yes. See you soon. Talk to you
Bye,
soon.
darling. See you
Bye,
soon.
love.
Bye.